Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Commander's Forge. The Forge is an area for me to talk about magic, Commander, and anything else while I try and drag this whole mental health thing back to a spot where it's supposed to be. So, today I would like to talk about Secret Lair. I've been avoiding Secret Lair for a while, mostly because with the way they're doing they're only printing so many. You have to wait in a queue. I'm typically at work. So, I just didn't even try for the Marvel one because I knew that was going to sell out damn near immediately. I wanted to get my hands on the Sonic the Hedgehog one. Not all of them, just the one that has the heroes and villains, whatever. When I tell you, I sat at my desk at work building airplane parts with my phone just sitting there waiting for almost 3 hours. 3 hours. I was sitting on that screen watching the little progression bar. And then once that progression bar fills out and it kicks you into the thing, you have 10 minutes to make your decisions. What the heck? I know there was a long lead time on getting the product when they were doing print to demand. But are you telling me they can't do a hybrid system right now? Where, sure, the people who want the stuff immediately wait in the queue, but then they just print to demand everything else? Not only would that alleviate the problem of so many people in the queue, because people like me who are like, I can wait a couple months to get my stuff. But, how can they justify not allowing people to get product? I was talking to my cousin the next day, and he was like, yeah, I really would have liked to get my hands on one of them. And I was like, man, I wish I had known. I would have ordered 2. But again, you have 10 minutes to make your decision and make sure that when you check out, everything goes through. I don't know. All I really want to say on the matter is the secret layers need to change. Either back or morph into something between the two versions. It's ridiculous how stupid secret layers got. I don't necessarily care about secret layers all that much anymore because it's just damn near impossible for me to get my hands on them. Alright, so that's kind of all I wanted to say on that matter. I need to keep this port short before I actually stew too much and say things that I shouldn't. So I'm going to take my little break here, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about a deck that I'm putting together, and hopefully that will help me calm down. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Now, when the Final Fantasy pre-releases were going on, one of the ones I went to, I pulled Dion Bahamut's Dominant as my promo in one of them. And I had this really stupid idea, and we're going to talk about it. So, Dion Bahamut's dominant is 3 and a white for a 3/3 human noble knight. He has Dragonfire Dive. During your turn, Dion and other knights I control have flying. So he's a Dragoon, because they have the jump ability. When he enters, create a 2/2 white knight creature token. And then for 4 white, you can exile Dion, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. And it becomes Bahamut, Warden of Light. So its first and second stages are the same. Wings of Light, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Those creatures gain flying till end of turn. And then the third one is Gigaflare, destroy target permanent, exile Bahamut, then return it to the battlefield. It is a 5/5 enchantment saga dragon with flying. So, yeah. Cool concept. And you know me, I like brewing in the mono white area just to kind of see what I can do different. And this one just gave me the go ahead to do something with knights. One very specific knight that you can have many of. That is the Templar Knight. So Templar Knight is 1 and a white for a 3/1 human knight with vigilance. And for a white and tapping 5 untapped attacking creatures you control named Templar Knight, search your library for a legendary artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. And a deck can have any number of cards named Templar Knight. So yeah. That's kind of the deck's plan. I've got I believe currently my list has 25 Templar Knights. I might bump that to 30, depending on how this plays the first time. I don't think I'm really going to have trouble getting to the Templar Knights. So I should probably explain more of the legendary artifacts, which are, well, one of my first thoughts was how many mana rocks are legendary artifacts. And there's actually a few that I have and a few that I need to pick up. The ones that I have start with Ring of the Lucci, which is a new one from the Final Fantasy set. It's 4 mana, it's a legendary artifact, it taps for 2 colorless, or you can pay 2, tap it, and pay a life to tap target non-land permanent. Next up we have the Throne of Eldraine, not to be confused with the set Throne of Eldraine, which is a 5 mana legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. You can tap and add 4 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to cast monocolored spells of that color. Or you can tap and pay 3 to draw 2 cards. Spend mana only of the chosen color to activate this ability. And then the other one that I have currently is Nyx Lotus, which is 4 mana legendary artifact. Enters the battlefield tapped. But you tap it, choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So it's, there's not a ton of cheap legendary artifacts. Like one of the ones I'm missing is the orrery that can use colored mana or use colorless mana like it was colored mana. So I'd still need to get one of those. But then I just kind of started pulling things. And the first thing that I needed for this deck, so when I ordered the other 20 Templar Knights, I ordered the Thrumming Stone. So Thrumming Stone is a 5 mana legendary artifact, and spells you cast have Ripple 4. And what does Ripple 4 say? Whenever you cast a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast spells with the same name as that spell from among the revealed cards without paying their mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. Note that this is from the Broken Age of Magic. There's nothing on here that says only once per turn, and that you cast the spells from the top of your library. So that means if you hit a Templar Knight in the top 4, you get another Templar Knight if it's in the next top 4. So it perpetuates. And Throwing Stone was kind of the obvious first choice. But after that, it's kind of whatever direction you want to take it. There is a ton of legendary equipment. And I'm not going heavy in that direction, but I do have a few. First up, we have Crown of Gondor. So 3 mana legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, if there is no monarch, you become the monarch. And equipped for 4, the ability costs 3 less to activate if you're the monarch. So, at really any point in the game, to get the monarchy, all I have to do is either play Dion or flip Dion. So I thought that would be a good include. After that, we have Helm of the Host, which 4 mana legendary artifact equipment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary. If the equipped creature is legendary, that token gains haste, equip for 5. So this is here not only just to make copies of Dion, but to also make copies of my Templar Knights if I get to a point where, I'm down to 2. And then I have the Shadow Spear. It's only in here because I just had this sitting on my desk. It's 1 mana for legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has trample and lifelink. Can pay 1 for permanents your opponent's control to lose hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. It equips for 2. So far, that's all of the legendary equipment I've added. I might get Sword of the Animist in here if I can find a spare copy. I just don't know. But I also don't want to take too long. So let's move on to just the other side of things, which is just legendary artifacts. Starting up, we have Tamio's Journal. It's a 5 mana legendary artifact. Beginning of your upkeep, investigate. You can tap and sacrifice 3 clues to search your library for a card, put the card in your hand, and then shuffle. So if it gets to it, we can use that to find the next Templar Knight. Next up, we have Hall of Triumph. 3 mana legendary artifact. When it enters, choose a color. Creatures you control the chosen color get +1/+1. The Circle of Loyalty. 4 white for a legendary artifact. It costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. You can pay 3 and a white and tap it to create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Next up, we have the Lunatic Pandora. It's a single mana legendary artifact. You can pay 2 and tap it to surveil 1. And then you can pay 6 and tap it and sacrifice it to destroy target non-land permanent. Next up, we have the Lithoform Engine, which is 4 mana legendary artifact. You can pay 2, tap it, and copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's the main reason it's in here, is to copy our ability to go get a legendary artifact. But you can also pay 3, tap it, to copy target instant or sorcery you control. You can choose new targets for the copy. Or you can pay 4, tap it, and copy target permanent spell you control. The copy becomes a token. Next up, I have Shimil, the Inner Sun. 6 mana legendary artifact. Spells you control can't be countered. At the beginning of your end step, discover 5. Yeah, so that's kind of it for right now. There are a few more that I have on the back burner that I just haven't picked up yet. Also, there are going to be a few proxies in this deck, and I just need to make it clear the only reason they are proxies in this deck is because I was not paying $80 for the One Ring, which is a 4-mana legendary artifact with indestructible. When the One Ring enters, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. You can tap it to put a burden counter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the One Ring. And that's really good. And I would love to be able to say that I own a few copies of this card, and I do not, which is annoying, considering how much of that product I opened. But the other ones I have are Mox Amber, which is a 0-mana legendary artifact. You tap it to add color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. Is currently up to like $70. And Mox Opal, 0 legendary artifact. It has Metalcraft, so if you have 3 or more artifacts, you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control 3 or more artifacts. So, yeah, for right now, they're going to be proxies. And I don't know when that's going to change, because that's just a lot of money to invest in this deck when I'm already investing a little bit into it. Now, there are some artifacts that are in the deck that are not legendary. One that's cropped up recently is the white Auracite from Final Fantasy. It's 2 white for an artifact. When it enters, you can exile a non-land permanent your opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield, and it taps for a white. But beyond that, I'm also running Soul Ring. I'm going to be running the Arcane Signet. And then there's going to be some instants and sorceries. I've not fully sold on what direction I want them to go in, but I know I want, the removal suite that goes into mono white decks. So that's, your in this case, Excavation Technique. 3 and a white for sorcery. It has Demonstrate. So you can destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. If you demonstrate it, you can use this politically to say, hey, that person's way ahead. I'm going to destroy this thing of theirs. Would you also like to destroy a thing of theirs? And then you can go and destroy a third thing of theirs. We've got the removal suite of Bovine Intervention. 1 and a white. Instant. Destroy target artifact or creature. Its controller makes a 2/2 white ox creature token. Swords to Plowshares. For a white. Instant. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Path to Exile. Single white. Instant. Exile target creature's controller searches his or her library for a basic land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. Stroke of Midnight is 2 and a white for an instant. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Generous Gift is 2 and a white for an instant that says destroy target permanent, and they get a 3/3 elephant. And then I have a Comeuppance in here, which is 3 and a white for an instant. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn by sources you don't control. If damage from a creature source is prevented this way, it deals that much damage to that creature. If damage from a non-creature source is prevented that way, Comeuppance deals that much damage to the source's controller. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it off. Deck's not 100% done yet. It's close. I still got to make a few more decisions, and there's a few more artifacts I want for the deck. But for now, I'm going to call it there, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for listening. All of my links can be found in my link tree in the description below. I would like to thank Ian Foss and Cody Mulvey of the band The Crypt for allowing me to use music for my opening and ending. along with Nate and Erica Jacobs for making my original logo. And I would also like to thank Christina McNichol for creating my new logo. And I'll see you next time.